So I'm here with Petr Mach. My name is Felix Koschar. I'm the vice chairman of the German Libertarian Party, and Peter is the chairman of the Czech Libertarian Party, who has been successful in getting a seat in the parliament. And yeah, so let me first ask you, Peter, could you tell us a little bit about the situation in the Czech Republic right now, the political situation, and your opinion about the past, present and future, just in a short, general way for people in Germany to understand what's going on in Czech Republic right now, in your opinion?
Well, I think that the situation in the Czech Republic is quite similar to the situation in other countries in Europe, and maybe to some extent also in the United States. People don't believe in politics anymore. They don't trust politicians. They don't believe that they can change what's happening around them. And we established the Free Citizens Party, a libertarian party in the Czech Republic 5 years ago, or almost 6 years ago, in 2009, just because we saw that there was no political party for which we could vote. There was no party that advocated libertarian ideas, the ideas of individual freedom, and therefore we have established the Free Citizens Party. We run in the election. Our ideas are purely libertarian. They are based on the ideas of Friedrich Hayek, Milton Friedman, Adam Smith, and other great thinkers. We have been successful to that extent that we won this seat in the European Parliament, but till now we have not managed to get into the Czech Parliament. It's very difficult. You know that it's difficult for political parties that are not part of the establishment. It's difficult to get into the media. So we can say that it's a little miracle that we won this seat in the European Parliament.
Okay, great. Yeah, that's a very wonderful miracle indeed. Congratulations on this seat again. So, and could you tell us how is your story with libertarianism? I think Czech Republic has a free spirit somehow in the culture, and how did you come in touch with the ideas of liberty and libertarianism, property rights? It's so unknown in our culture today still. So how did you get there personally? Have you been raised in a liberal way, or you discovered it also through books, or what's your story with libertarianism?
Well, in fact, I spent 14 years of my life in a communist country where everything was run and managed by bureaucrats or politicians. There was almost no private property. People could not run their own businesses, and even as a child I could see that this system is bad, that it simply lacks freedom, and therefore I took part in the protests against the communist rulers in 1989 as a 14-year-old boy, and I started to be interested in politics. Then I welcomed reforms like privatization, liberalization of prices, and cutting taxes and government expenditures. But when this was taking place, I believe that it was not sufficient. I started to read books by Milton Friedman, the book Free to Choose. I started to read Frederick Bastiat's The Law and the Petition of Candlestick Makers and other books. And I simply got the creed that an individual must be free, and therefore I have been advocating for all my life the principles of individual freedom, and I believe that the taxes should be as low as possible, that the government should not distribute any subsidies and so on.
Yeah, we would basically like to make taxes voluntary. That would be our approach to not have an anarcho-capitalistic society, but have a state that is defined by the monopoly of force in a certain region. But the taxes would be voluntary. The people living in the area would not be forced to pay. That's like, mind games, like approaches for what we could do once we would be able to try things like this. But it's an interesting question, of course, how much liberty really is possible. So maybe we just make a difficult question for you, because you are already in our field of knowledge. So I can maybe ask you something that is on my mind recently. It's about a principal question with the non-aggression principle. We of course reject the use of force, the initiation of the use of force. But what's your take on the hate speech? Or, for example, if people encourage others to use violence, that's like a moral conflict. So would the initiation of the use of force be legitimated to stop people who spread ideas of violence? You see the conflict there?
Well, I think that physical violence should be used only to those who make physical aggression. So if someone just speaks of aggression, if someone just have word abuse against someone, we should not punish him physically.
Yes.
Therefore, I am advocating free speech, which includes also the right to say even bad things, which does not mean that people should say bad things, and they should bear the responsibility for saying bad things. But I think that the government, the state, should not punish speeches, whatever bad they are.
Thank you. Yeah, that's basically the clear, simple principle. That's clear. But for me, still, it's sometimes questionable when it comes to really people preparing for the use of violence, or if there's a radical group that is ready to use violence, and maybe it could be difficult. But unfortunately, we don't have to make these important decisions because we are not in power. So I wouldn't know if I would want to be in power, actually, to take responsibility for this whole mess. It's also a question of me. We are in a very comfortable position to be able to criticize this from the outside, I think, and understanding the problems, but not having to actually deal with them because they don't let us do it. Okay. So how is the situation of political prisoners in Czech Republic today? Do you have like agencies that lock people up for having for their opinions, or you have a good legal system? What do you think about the current situation?
I don't think that in the Czech Republic we have political prisoners. I think that no one is imprisoned for his political opinions in the Czech Republic.
Oh, okay, that's good. Because in Germany we have people being locked up for this kind of things. What happened to me when I discovered libertarianism, it was like a missing piece in my political ideology, and I really started to see how simple things could be if you apply the right principles. Yeah, so we've been to a trip recently to Ukraine and Poland, and we've been talking with the liberal forces in this area, and we've been inspired especially by the founder of the Ukrainian Libertarian Party. And they have a the party is called 5.10. You've heard of them?
No.
They founded about the same time we did, just last year in the summer. And what he is promising to the people in the Ukraine is that with his politics, everybody will be 10 times as rich. So this is for us. We have this strategy of provocation for our party. That we learned from the UKIP and Polish guys. But now this idea I like also a lot, to make it clear to people that in a libertarian society they will all be much richer. In the end of the interview, the guy said, Gennady Balashov is his name, he said people want money. And I think it's true. So this is part of our strategy. One part is to polarize and to get attention by doing stupid provocation things, just to get the attention. And then once we have a chance to express some rational arguments, we want to help people to understand that they would be much more wealthy in our society. We would cut taxes so far away, and together with deregulation, free market politics, I think even in Germany people could have realistically 3 or 4 times as much money as they do now. So this is our strategy for reaching people in Germany, by first getting the attention and then placing this idea in their head that it's in their own interest to have more freedom to use their money and things like this. So what's your idea about getting attention, or basically we have to make our ideas more known, I guess. Do you have a strategy for Czech?
Fringe parties like ours have difficulties to get into the media, and therefore naturally they must provoke, they must organize demonstrations, happenings, and so on. That's something that the establishment parties don't need to do. So I think it's simply necessary to do this. Of course that there are also drawbacks of this strategy, that the general public can consider you as a fringe party forever. And we have really serious ideas that the individual should be free, that we should use our own money that we make. These ideas are serious, and therefore we must not be seen by the public as just a funny party. So we must also show our serious face.
Yeah, exactly. We try to play with this, I guess. We don't get any media attention yet, but I think it's good to have also this funny part in it, so people are also not so sure if we are making fun or not. I think that's good to play with. If we can play with this, that's part of our plan, to first get more known and then show our serious face afterwards. Because when you're provoking, you get a lot of attention, and then you can justify your action in a very rational way. And this is, in my opinion, our ideas are really morally and intellectually superior. Maybe sounds arrogant, but it is my honest opinion that the libertarian approach is far superior to any other political approach, and it can be even scientifically proven that more freedom leads to more wealth and more happiness, and that's in the end what it's about. This is what we try to get in the heads of the people by making videos like this, to talk with people. We want to meet with all political forces, no matter who. Everybody who wants to talk to us, we want to go to all different groups and see what they have to say and talk to them face to face. Yeah,
I think that you and we are different from all other parties, because all other parties, regardless their names and colors, they simply believe that they should make decisions in place of us.
exactly.
That's what Hayek called the fatal conceit. They simply believe that they are somehow better than us, that they can know better than us what's good for us.
Yeah,
According to us, it's fatal conceit, and it's fatal because it leads to economic stagnation, it leads to huge debts, it leads to various economic and social problems. That's why it's fatal. And what we want is just that the other people don't take this right to make decisions in place of us. We are smart enough to make decisions for ourselves.
Exactly. We don't want to be forced to participate. That's also the good thing about the libertarian society, that all communists or whatever they are, they can live, they can exist in this world, and they're, as long as they don't force anybody to participate in their group, they are free to do whatever they want. So I think it's just misconceptions that are between us and success. I think most people, they get something wrong, you know, they don't know about it, they're not interested exactly, and they have a lot of prejudices. And we have to somehow break through this, I think. And yeah, what do you think? You said it was very lucky that you got this seat, but something you seem to have made right. You are far more successful than any other of... there are not many libertarians in politics also, but why do you think this success happened? Was it just luck, or I guess it was some effort behind this? Could you explain how you think?
I think that first of all, you must strongly believe in your ideas, and you must be consistent, and you must be patient. So we established our party from nothing. Many people thought that if I established a political party, I probably had somewhere some secret money to fund it. I told everybody, no, now we have established the party, we can collect some member fees so that we can put some money together to campaign. So we did it. And we gathered people who share these ideas. Of course, that there are small differences in opinions, which exist in every political party probably. But we have been consistent, we have been insisting on our basic principles, and because we have been patient, we succeeded, at least partly.
So you've been there from the beginning, and I guess also your group is growing, like libertarianism. I think Students for Liberty was founded in 2008, and it's just going through the roof, basically, though it's still so small. I think this is really what gives me a lot of hope to see it all grow so fast, especially among young people. Okay, so is this the same in Czech? Do you think the young people, they are especially more open to this extreme radical liberal ideas than the older people maybe?
I think that people mostly tend to be conservative, and therefore people who are in their 50s or 60s don't change their political views usually. So for us it's easier to attract young people who had not been voting for anyone before. So I think it's quite natural. Also, the functioning of our party is based on the internet, and the internet is used mostly by younger people than by the old people. So I think that our ideas and our party are attractive, especially to young people, but also we have people over 60-year-old.
Okay, great. So one more question I would have personally. This is a really important one. So you have 5 years advance, 5 years more experience than us. We just founded. So far we have a good team that is enhancing each other, and it's a small group, so currently it's working pretty well, the way we do things. But we expect difficulties, of course, as the thing grows. And what can you give us as a tip? What's your experience from this 5 years? You already said to believe in your ideas, and I think we all do. We are very motivated people. But do you have any more practical tips from your experience? What to do, what not to do, what we should look out for in the process?
First of all, try to be tolerant to slightly different ideas. You probably include minarchists and anarcho-capitalists as well. You would probably include some people who are Christians. You would probably include some people who admire Ayn Rand and objectivism. And I think that if you have the basic shared idea of the minimal state, you should be able to work together. So often when I speak, I as a minarchist speak to an anarcho-capitalist, I tell them, well, we can be in one party, we can go together. And as in the future we will have the state that redistributes just 3% of the gross domestic product, we can split our ways.
Exactly.
And then in this future you can establish your own anarcho-capitalist party, and you can demand abolishing the state altogether.
So just being inclusive towards also anarcho-capitalists. Yeah, basically that's what the German libertarians consider that it makes sense to, though most are not politically active and still refuse, libertarian politics.
Try to be nice to people. I think what I have found sometimes that people who are strongly convinced of their ideas, like you are or I am, you believe that your ideas are superior to the ideas of others who want to take money from other people and give it to the other people. Try to be nice to people when explaining these ideas. Don't try not to be arrogant, because we can gain nothing by being considered by other people as arrogant people.
Okay, thank you very much. I see.
Okay, I have also one more question. What is your opinion about refugees? A lot of refugees are coming to refugees are coming to Germany and other countries. What should we do with these people?
Well, in the Czech Republic there are many immigrants, mostly from Ukraine, Slovakia, and also Vietnam. And I think that there are no problems with these people. They have jobs, they don't just claim social benefits. I think that sometimes migration is motivated by social benefits, and then it's not natural. So if some countries see, if some countries observe difficulties with migrants, I think that they should first look at their social policies, and they should cut social benefits in the first place.
So good luck, good job.
Thank
All
you.
the best to you. Thank you very much for taking the time.
And good luck with your party.
Yeah, thank you very much. Hope to see you here maybe someday.